If you're ready, let's go have some fun.
All right, folks.
Santa's looking down. You got like the red shirts.
Hello everyone, welcome. Thank you guys so much for being here. You guys are in for a great night. My name is Mark. I do many things here at the village, but my main responsibility is I'm in charge of our merchandise. So thank you guys for being here. Sarah is going to take our next tour. If you are here for the 6 o'clock tour, Sarah will be your tour guide. If you have a time that's 6 o'clock or earlier, you're also, please join this tour. If you're 6:20 or later, please hang out so all of our tours can kind of be balanced evenly. All right? So Sarah is going to take you guys.
Coming with us. Like Mark said, my name is Sarah. I work here at Give Kids the World. I started here in 2019. I am currently the village recruiter, so I do staff and volunteer recruitment. So we're gonna have a great night together, get lots of fun pictures with some Christmas lights. I'll give you some fun facts about Give Kids the World and some of the buildings that we're gonna see. Feel free to ask questions and let me know if you wanna stop to take any pictures, okay? This main avenue that we're gonna walk first is called the Avenue. That's what we refer to it as. We're standing by a few really great buildings, some good stories here. The building we just came out of is called Town Hall. Town Hall is kind of our main building. It's where a lot of our offices are upstairs, and then we do have some fun rooms downstairs as well. You can see Santa scaling the building right now. Inside we have the Happening Place, which is our event space, and then we also have Cafe Clayton and the Gingerbread House, which is where we feed our families. We currently have over 150 families staying on property with us. We're at full capacity. Does everybody know who the families are staying with us? Does everybody know the history of the village a little? Okay, perfect. Because we have so many families staying with us, we want to protect their privacy, which is why we're doing these smaller VIP tours. We just want to be respectful of their perfect week that they're having here. So just keep that in mind as we're walking around as well, that we're going to stay together, and that's why we're doing these VIP tours. So we just want to make sure that they still get to have their unforgettable experience as well. All-inclusive, magical, week-long stay here at the village at absolutely no cost, including transportation, private storybook villa accommodation, all meals and snacks, donated theme park tickets to Walt Disney World, Universal, SeaWorld, and other area attractions, nightly parties and entertainment, daily gifts, and unique interactive experiences throughout the resort. Since 1986, the village has welcomed nearly 190,000 children and their families from all 50 states and 76 countries to laugh together, play together, and create priceless memories together away from hospital stays and medical treatments. And all of you are helping make that possible by being here tonight, because all of the proceeds from the tour, as well as merchandise purchases, go back to help all of the Wish families that are staying with us. Some facts about the lights. The lights took over 2 months to install with the help of over 200 volunteers. And we currently have 1.6 million lights on display at Give Kids the World. And we're gonna see pretty much all of them. We had a very generous donation of lights this year, which is what helped us to be able to go ahead and put on the tour again this year. On our left is the Enchanted Carousel, which was designed and donated to Give Kids the World by Vekoma from the Netherlands. It's actually the first ever handicap accessible carousel. It has 22 different animals on it, and 2 of them are wheelchair accessible, which is pretty cool that it is the first wheelchair accessible carousel. It is very old. and very fun. It's one of the favorite attractions by families when they stay here. And gorgeous, covered in Christmas lights. It is one of my favorite things when we get to put up the Christmas lights. It's the carousel. Absolutely gorgeous. The building behind me is volunteer services. So like I said, it took 200 volunteers to help hang up the Christmas lights, but we use about 200 volunteers every single day at the village to help with those wishes. We use about 1,800 a week. There's a different amount depending on what activities we're offering, but we absolutely couldn't do it without our volunteers. While I am a staff member, Lori on the tour with us is a volunteer. She prefers to volunteer usually at the airport because that is where the experience starts. We have a volunteer meet every family at the airport when they get off their flight to greet them and say hello, help them through the airport because airports are confusing. So show them where everything is and get them in a car on their way here to us. So that is an important part of the experience. And then you'll see volunteers all night helping run all of the fun things that we're gonna see. So this is their home. This is where volunteers check in, where they hang out. And if you are interested in volunteering, that's where you can go for that as well. Every night, Stellar flies to the top of the castle and hangs their star somewhere in the castle where it actually stays forever. Families get a chance to come back and visit. They don't stay on property, but they can come back and visit 2 times a year for forever. And so they will be able to come back and visit those stars, whether the wish child is still with them or not. So it's a very magical experience. There's also all kinds of other fun things happening inside. Some other fun little animatronics that come to life. And a magical tree where they get to make these green wish pillows with a squirrel named Buttons. Nothing is more magical than a squirrel that makes pillows. So it's a great experience and one of my favorite venues here on the avenue. Hop over here because it's a great spot to take photos if anyone would like photos with the Christmas tree and the snowman. If anyone needs us to take photos of them anywhere, we can as well. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about some of the stuff around us while you're taking photos. Behind us is Henry's Starlight Scoops. It's one of our newest venues on property. It is a space-themed ice cream parlor. As part of the magical week of always saying yes, we serve unlimited ice cream. The ice cream parlor opens at 7:30 in the morning and closes at 9:30 at night. It actually opens before we start serving breakfast. Ice cream for breakfast is a very important part of your perfect week, so we encourage every family to get ice cream for breakfast while they are here. We also have waffles. We can make milkshakes. We have a really fun toppings bar, and it is as much as the families want to have while they're here. We do also have dairy-free ice cream as well for kids that can't eat dairy. And as you might notice, the windows where they keep the ice cream is actually built lower than normal ice cream freezers because we want to make sure that kids in wheelchairs will be able to roll right up and be able to look at all the ice creams themselves. And it is space themed in honor of our founder, Henry. He passed away a few years ago. But Henry actually had a really cool connection with space. So Henry was actually a manager and owner of a lot of hotels. He worked over on the Space Coast and Cocoa Beach, and he helped operate and manage the Starlight Motel. The sign for the Starlight Motel looks just like Starlight Scoops. That's what it's themed after. While he was working there, he got to know a lot of astronauts very well, including John Glenn. And John Glenn actually took a Give Kids the World flag with him up into space, and that flag is hanging inside of Henry's Starlight Scoops. So this was built in honor of Henry and themed in honor of Henry with a lot of cool memorabilia from astronauts and space travel, which is really fun.
Hey guys, so we're doing holiday wishes, holiday cheers and such. We got light bulbs, different colors. If anybody want to write something, put it on the wall.
So we are trying to fill this wall with wishes for our families. So things just like have a great week, happy holidays, nothing sad, nothing get better, nothing get well soon. You can sign your name to it if you'd like. And then our friends here, after they dry, you're using paint pens, they just need to dry. And they'll hang it up on the wall for you so you can leave a wish for our families here.
Sure.
And then Olivia's Oasis. So the Rockin' Spa is a spa for kids. It was actually built for us with Hasbro. So Twinkle Hope is the pony that you see there on the logo. Twinkle Hope is an official My Little Pony made by Hasbro. When they sold Twinkle Hope in stores, they used the profits from Twinkle Hope to help build us this spa. Kids can make appointments to come into the spa and to get their nails done, get their hair done, and get fun glitter tattoos. We have Disney Plus playing on the TV. We can do princess makeovers. We have fun wigs and dresses and stuff that we can get for them as well. And then inside of the spa is Olivia's Oasis, which is a spa for parents and caregivers. So we opened that with a few water massage tables. We also have some foot massagers and some other relaxing things in there so that caregivers can have a little bit of time to relax as well, because that was something we were missing and we thought it was so important to take care of the caregivers. So we just opened that this year. Yeah, lots of fun. Behind us here is going to actually be our next adventure, Mayor Clayton's Wonder Lab. Super exciting. This is going to be a STEAM activity center where kids can learn to create and make things. We're going to have an area for sewing and soldering. We have some animatronics coming to us that were donated by Garner Holt, who actually makes most of the animatronics that you see at places like Universal Studios. So we have some complete robots that will be there to greet the families. We have pieces of robots in different stages of being built for these animatronic birds, so that kids can see how to build them at different stages. But then they'll get to do fun projects like making buttons and sewing, things that they can learn how to do, and then take the instructions home with them so that they can continue those new interests that they found once they get home. It's going to have some really fun robot mascots, and it's just going to be a really great place where kids can be hands-on and learn some new skills and activities. Okay, we're going to keep going. I think everybody's done with the wish wall. If you look closely on the side of the Wonder Lab, we have some drawings of robots that we actually had kids draw in the castle before the walls went up. And so we hung their designs of robots on the construction walls, which I think is really cute. And then there are pictures of what it's going to look like inside. It's going to be really cute. Yeah, koi fish. And they feed them. They have the times up when they feed them so that families can come feed them. So our families can come feed them with the stuff. Behind us is a playhouse. That's actually Mayor Clayton's house. You can go inside, you can knock on the door. He's not usually home. But that is his house, because where else does a bunny live besides the garden?
That's awesome.
So before we start taking some fun photos and all these photo ops, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about the areas around us. So this big purple building is the House of Hearts. That is like the guest services building for the families that stay here. So after they get greeted at the airport, they get here to the House of Hearts, where they're greeted by another storyteller, staff member, and a volunteer that help kind of explain everything. They take them into their villas and give them an orientation. But it's a place where families can go if they need absolutely anything when they are here. We have pretty much everything they need in their villa, but if they need anything else, we try to provide that for them, or help with the theme park tickets, the making plans on the apps, because the apps are a little bit confusing if you've never been here. So this is the team that can help them with all of that. That is everything they need inside of that building. Behind us is Julie Safari Theater. This is a movie theater where families can come and enjoy movies all throughout the day. And we have Disney Plus, so we can play any movie on Disney Plus. and occasionally Disney also. Notice as we walk into Amberville, it actually is a toy box. So if you look, it's an open toy box with everything coming out. I'm going to tell you a really fun story. Behind me is Mark's Dino Putt. It is a fully wheelchair accessible mini golf course. We actually have golf clubs that bend on the end so you can get a good angle if you're sitting down. They also have a suction cup on the back end so that you can get the ball out of the hole yourself and you don't need assistance from anyone else if you can't bend over to get to it. But one of the reasons I love Mark's Dino Putt is the story of Mark with Mark's Dino Putt. So Mark is a wish child that stayed here with us. When you get a wish from a wish granting organization, they usually ask you for 3 wishes. That way they can find one that's going to be plausible and something that they can do. So Mark wished for 3 things. Mark wished to be a millionaire, which is a great wish that most of us have, but unfortunately not something that we are able to grant. Mark wished to never be forgotten, which was a very sweet wish, but again, not something that we were going to be able to grant him. And then Mark wished to be a dinosaur. So that is actually the one that we were able to run with, that the organization was able to work with. And Mark was brought to Give Kids the World to go to Universal Studios and do all of the fun stuff with Jurassic Park and the dinosaurs there. Well, around that time, Universal Studios, being a great partner, was building us this mini golf course here. So the way Mark's Dino Putt came to be is that Mark's Dino Putt, being built by Universal, cost us $1 million to make. And that dinosaur there on the sign is actually named Mark. So as long as Give Kids the World is here, hopefully forever, Mark will never be forgotten. He is that dinosaur, and he cost $1 million. So he is worth $1 million. A very sweet story. Unfortunately, Mark is no longer with us. But a couple years ago, at Night of a Million Lights, Mark's brother was actually here with his girlfriend at the time, who had never been to Give Kids the World. So after they did their dessert party here, Mark's brother brought his girlfriend over for a round of mini golf at Mark's Dino Putt. And on the last hole, there's a dinosaur that pops up. And when they got to the last hole, the dinosaur popped up with a sign that said, "Will you marry me?" So Mark's brother got engaged right here at Mark's Dino Putt, which was really sweet. So we're going to walk through Amberville now. There might be some families playing in there, so we're just going to walk through, and we're actually going to stop in the next room. There is a really cool train set in there that we're going to play with. You can press buttons on. It was fully built and maintained by volunteers that come a couple times a week to add things and change things and just make sure it's running and always has new stuff for the kids. And then, like I said, all the games are rigged to free play, most of which have been donated to us from IAPA, which is the attractions organization. So we're just going to walk through here. Accessible attractions that you see here. Behind you is Lori's Magical Flight. Behind me is Kelly's Sunny Swing. And over here is the JJ Express, also called the Jurassic Junction Express. The train goes all the way around Amberville and kind of behind and through the golf course. So you see different dinosaurs, and there's a voiceover talking to you about dinosaurs. And there's a whole story with it, which is really fun. So that house in the corner covered in orange lights. That is our first villa here at Give Kids the World. And there's actually a really cool story that goes with that villa about a wish kid named Gavin. I'm gonna make sure I get all facts right. I don't know his story as well as I know Mark's because he's newer. So Gavin had his wish with us in March of 2020. He was one of our last wishes before we had to close down. And his wish was to go to Galaxy's Edge at Disney, which he got to do. He was among the last group to have his wish here before we closed for 10 months. But when his family heard that we would be hosting Night of a Million Lights and his family had moved back here to Florida, they came to volunteer and helped put up Christmas lights for Night of a Million Lights. They were here all the time hanging up Christmas lights, and when we found out they were an alumni, we actually had them help decorate that house there. So he got to, Gavin got to help decorate it as he wanted to. So he chose to make it look like the frozen land of Hoth from Star Wars. And then the next year for Night of a Million Lights, our friends at ITEC that sponsored that villa, they made a little nod to him and made interactive windows that represented Gavin. So that will forever be known as Gavin's Villa. It's also the first Kids Kids the World Villa. So just a fun little story about that villa for you. We can keep going this way.
Pictures on my phone.
You have pictures of that villa?
I think so.
That brings their 2 therapy horses so that kids can ride horses, and we have someone that walks around the area with them. And we do have a ramp on the stand to get up to where the horses are so that everybody has a chance to ride the horses, which is really cool. So we're gonna walk this way. We're also walking through our tree trail. So a couple of things about the tree trail and Gift Kids the World. It was very important to Henry that everything here was not sponsored. You go to the theme parks and you just have these big corporate names yelling at you, and that's not what this place is about. This is about fun. So even though we have some really good partners, you notice that their names are not plastered all over everything. We have the Ripley's and the SeaWorld thing for Christmas, but this place is about fun. But when we started Night of a Million Lights, we really wanted a way to thank our partners that have been able to help us do all of this. So different corporations or different people have sponsored Christmas trees on our Christmas tree trail. But look at all the trees, they're beautiful. Dippin' Dots, filled with Dippin' Dots.
That's fun.
Good portion of it here for here. Yeah, I don't know what.
That's why we had to check it out. But yeah, they decked out the very back of the park. They had like a tropical, like a trail thing.
Oh,
That was really nice.
Oh, this happened because we're not talking about it.
Where's my professional photographer?
I can help. I can help. I can.
So like I said, this is a life-size game of Candyland. It is also a fully accessible playground. So right now, obviously we're not playing a game, but you can go in and you can play with all of the playground equipment. And it is a functioning game of Candyland. So we do have all of the pieces to play Candyland. Before COVID, it was one of those nightly parties that we did was Candyland, and eventually it will come back as being one of the games that we play with our families. We also do have our character friends that would come meet here that Hasbro so generously donated for us. The only place where you will meet Queen Frostine and King Candy and Princess Lolly. They do come here to play the game with the kids. So because we have a little bit of time, I think we'll make it to the end so we can actually walk through the playground to the other side. And there should be a drop can on the other side as well if you're not done with your ice cream. But you'll see it has all of the fun little bits of Candyland. This is where my time with you ends. We are back at your cars. And it's been just about an hour and a half, but thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight. I hope you enjoyed your tour. If anyone does have any questions about the village or the lights, please feel free to stick around and ask either of us. If you have any questions about volunteering, I can answer them, and I'm sure she would love to tell you about her experience volunteering. But this is the end. Did everybody have a great time?
Yes, thank you so much.
Did everybody get cute pictures? You know, I'm going to make sure you got those pictures. Yeah. Fun. And if you don't remember, this is where your car is in this parking lot. It's a bit confusing. It is big.
Thank you so
But
much.
yeah, of course.
very
Thank you guys for hanging out. You were a great group.
All right, guys, so we just made it back out to the car, and absolutely gorgeous. This whole event was just gorgeous. We really enjoyed it. Thank you, Mark, and everyone here at Give Kids World Village for everything you do. Thank you for the invite, and we will definitely be back. Everything that this place does, it just really touches our heart, and we love this place, and hopefully you guys can come out. Just remember, this isn't Night of a Million Lights, but it's pretty much the same thing. If you go online, it's Holidays VIP Tours at the Village, so get your tickets online. There's only a few dates in December, so you have to go online, get your tickets in advance. It's very limited. This is a very small group tour that you will experience while you're here at the Village. But overall, we really like the event, and hopefully you guys can check it out. Drop a comment below. What was your favorite thing that you saw? Because I know we showed off a lot in the video. But anyways, Wiser Forever. See you later. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas.